JM Morning Show, the video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's Thursday. Couldn't be a better day of the week. Jamie Balkin, aren't you happy that you're here on a Thursday?
I like Thursdays.
Thursdays are great, aren't they? Why do you like Thursdays?
It's kind of the end is near. Getting ready for the weekend.
We can see the horizon. Yeah, no, Jamie Balkin is here. She is the events director director of events at Krasl Art Center, also a Coloma City Commissioner. And you want to talk about both things this morning?
I can, sure can.
Okay, absolutely. Because you've got all kinds of fun things happening in Coloma.
We do. It's a very exciting time in our small community, and we couldn't be more excited about what's taking place in Coloma right now.
Okay, we'll set some time aside to talk about that. But the main purpose you're here today is to talk about the 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff.
That is right. It's my 4th art fair. I measure my time at Krasl by the number of art fairs that I've done. So really excited. It's coming together very nicely. We made a big announcement yesterday, and hopefully everybody heard that announcement. But one of the goals and one of the questions I've got since I started is, when are you bringing the shuttle back? When's the shuttle coming back? Well, I've got great news. We are bringing the shuttle back for 2025. So
when did the shuttle go away?
From all the records we can find, 8 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah. Okay. But it's coming back.
It's coming back.
People have been asking for it. Good.
Yeah. So thanks to the Southwest Michigan Tourist Council that underwrote the shuttle.
Okay.
And St. Joe High School agreed to let us use their parking lot. And we have a wonderful volunteer who said, let's make this happen.
Nice. What's the shuttle look like?
It's a blue and white bus from Tim's Tours out of South Bend, Indiana area.
Okay.
So they'll be doing loops from St. Joe High to downtown at Broad and State Street.
Okay.
And it'll be running throughout the day, both days.
I have an idea. You should decorate it. I have an idea.
Okay, I want to hear your idea.
Well, I mean, it's the Krasl Art Fair, and you brought back the shuttle. Let's make the shuttle a piece of art itself. They won't mind down in South Bend, right?
Well, they have like rules and regulations and stuff.
What we can do to it?
Yeah.
Well, we'll use hot glue.
Yeah,
because that'll come off.
Yeah. We're just gonna take one step and have a shuttle again.
All right, fine. Well, congratulations on making that announcement. We'll ask you a little bit more about that. We'll ask you about the art fair. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Kind of.
Because we're under a month away.
You know what? We're 22 days away. I have a countdown on my calendar, and we looked, and I am 22 days away.
That is
and
outstanding.
When you say that, it gets a little woo.
Yeah, like a little electric jolt goes through the system. Okay, well, we're talking with Jamie Balkin. She's here from the Krasl Art Center and the 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff. I want to say 63rd annual, but that's probably not true.
It's not true because we missed COVID.
Yeah.
2020.
Only because of COVID?
Yeah, only because of COVID. 2020, there was not an art fair.
Did you know there's a new variant of COVID going around?
My husband talked about that last night.
Oh, no.
It's supposed to be really bad.
Well, what they said is, here, I pulled some information on it. They're calling it a painful sore throat comes along with it, called referred to as razor blade throat. That doesn't sound good.
No.
That doesn't sound good at all. Razor blade throat is just one of the symptoms of the new COVID-19 variant, which is currently being monitored by the World Health Organization. They say it's NB181, evaluated as low threat at the global level currently.
Well,
we've heard that before, though.
Yeah, we have heard that before.
All right. Okay. 7:04 WSJM Morning Show. We're going to talk about art. We're going to talk about splash pads at Coloma and a whole bunch more. It's coming up right here on WSJM. Good morning.
Lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05, it's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning, I'm Ken Lundberg. Welcome to Thursday, June 19th. happy Thursday to you. And if you're on the video live stream, we have a guest already in studio. Jamie Balkin is here from the Krasl Art Center. We're going to be talking about the 63rd Krasl Art on the Bluff.
Right.
Sorry, I stumbled over that because we were talking on the video live stream already about why it's not called the 63rd annual. Thank you, COVID. And then we got derailed and we started talking about the new COVID variant that's out there and that kind of stuff. But all that aside, Art Fair is coming.
It is. We are just 22 days away, and it will take place. We kick it off with our block party on Friday, July 11th from 5 to 9. And then Saturday, July 12th and 13th is the annual art fair.
That is fantastic. When you say it like that, 22 days away, that's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah, because we'll be right in the depths of summer, or in the heights of summer, I should say.
Yes.
I say that as well because we've got temperatures coming up that are going to be quite warm this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. We'll talk all about the Art Center, the Krasl Art Center, the Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff, and a few other things. That's all coming up here this hour on the WSJM Morning Show with Jamie Balkin from Krasl. So that's coming up. Stay tuned for that. We've got to get to some news. First, let's do the weather forecast. We'll also have sports. Today's forecast does call for partly cloudy skies. We've got the rain showers right now on and off, and 30% chance of that continuing through the day. A high around 78 degrees today. Northwest winds just 10 to 20 miles per hour. Won't be anything like yesterday. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a low around 63. Friday's forecast, partly cloudy, a chance of rain again. A high tomorrow around 85 degrees. And then we get into the hot stuff. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the temperatures at the hottest points of Southwest Michigan, all expected to be at and above 90 degrees. Yeah.
Hydrate.
Yeah, exactly. Hydrate, because the heat indices are going to be even hotter. We probably are going to get into the triple digits.
That's what I saw as well.
So don't leave your favorite dark chocolate on the dashboard of the car during this time, because it's going to melt. That goes for gummy bears and anything else that you like to stick on the dashboard.
And put your pets inside.
Oh yeah, don't leave pets or kids or people or anybody. Keep yourself out of the car for extended periods of time, unless you have the air conditioning on, because that can turn into an oven inferno, and it's not healthy at all. It's very serious. So anyway, it's going to get really hot this weekend, so check on the loved ones as well. But Saturday, the forecast, partly cloudy and hot and humid. High around 90, low around 70. Sunday, even warmer, high of 93, low of 75. Monday, 94 for the high, 76 for the low. And then Tuesday, no rain, by the way, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, we could have a slight chance of rain, but it's still going to be hot, high around 94 degrees. Okay. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom this morning. The city of New Buffalo has put a pause on plans to implement a paid parking system downtown this summer. Does that sound familiar? New Buffalo city manager Darwin Watson tells us the city council in May voted to move forward with a program that would have required payment to park around the central business district of New Buffalo. However, following a town hall meeting last week at which several downtown business owners expressed worries, the council this week decided to wait until next year. Watson says there were several issues raised by area businesses.
Knowing where employees would be parking, and that was the biggest concern that we got from them. And then, just how it would be implemented, as well as how it would be rolled out and things of that nature.
Watson says New Buffalo has struggled with congestion issues during the busy summer months as people park in business lots and then head to the beach or walk around all day, just leaving their cars behind. He says the city for a few years implemented a 3-hour parking rule that was enforced by having police chalk the vehicle tires, but then the courts ruled the practice was unconstitutional in 2019. That made it illegal to continue the chalking.
3-hour parking without any kind of license plate recognition or a kiosk type system could not be enforced, because you would have to have somebody literally sitting at every parking space, starting a timer at that time.
Therefore, Watson says the idea of starting a paid parking program was proposed a few years ago. Although the city has paused the program, Watson says as of right now, the plan is still to start it next year. The paid parking would be in effect from Friday before Memorial Day through Labor Day. He says the pause enables the city council to meet with business owners to refine the plan and gives the city more time to prepare. Watson tells us by the end of the year, though, the city should be ready to roll with all of the equipment in place. The chalking of the tires, did you know that that was unconstitutional?
I learned something new this morning.
Well, and so when Andrew Green put that story together, I asked Andrew, I said, chalking is unconstitutional. What are you talking about? And he says, well, I think it's under the Fourth Amendment. He didn't think, he knew. And so I looked up the Fourth Amendment and the whole parking thing. And they said the chalking is basically equates to an unlawful search and seizure without a warrant.
Okay.
Because they're intruding on private property to gather information without a warrant. That's what chalking a tire is you're gathering information. How long have you been there?
Yeah.
Without a warrant. So can't do that anymore.
I've learned something new this morning.
There you go. All right. Other news. Let's do some more learning. At Lake Michigan College is planning to build a new residence hall. The LMC Board of Trustees this week approved a design contract to begin planning for that building. College Vice President of Advancement and Community Impact, Doug Schaefer, tells us with increasing enrollment at Lake Michigan College, space has run out for students to live on campus.
We have one residence hall with 194 beds, which are already at full capacity for fall of 2025. And we have another 126 students on a wait list hoping for a spot to open between now and early September.
Schaefer says many prospective students struggle finding an available and affordable place to live, and adding residential housing slightly different than what's already there will help.
Similar structure, but just want to maybe lower the price point a little bit so that this residence hall might be more of a classic freshman first year dorm, not the full apartment style like our current residence hall has. So that would provide a little bit more diversity in the type of spaces available.
The current residence hall was built back in 2013. The contract approved by the board this week would cover engineering and design, and its cost would not exceed about $1 million. The cost of constructing the new hall, another matter. Schaefer says the college is moving ahead aggressively to get the project finished with the goal of moving students into the new hall by the fall of 2027. And lastly, a decorated U.S. Army soldier from Allegan County has died in Iraq. A U.S. Department of Defense statement says 26-year-old Staff Sergeant Saul Fabian Gonzalez of Pullman died on Tuesday in Erbil, Iraq, as a result of a non-combat related incident. Officials said Gonzalez was in Iraq in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. He was an Apache helicopter mechanic assigned to the 101st Combat Aviation Brigade, 101st Airborne Division. Gonzalez's death remains under investigation. He joined the Army back in February of 2018. His awards and decorations include the Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal with 6 oak leaf clusters, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Army Aviation Badge, and the Army Air Assault Badge. That's a look at some of the news that we're covering in the WSJM newsroom this morning. We've got more. We're going to start our conversation on the video live stream right now with Jamie Balkin from Krasl Art Center. Talk all about what's happening. Art on the Bluff. It's coming up. July 11th is the block party?
11th is the block party, 5 to 9.
Okay, and so everyone's invited down for that.
That is, everyone come one, come all.
And then the art fair itself, 12th and 13th, Saturday and Sunday. So we'll talk all about that starting right now on the WSJM Morning Show. We've got sports here on the radio from Dave Wolf.
Major League Baseball on
block party. History of the block party.
You know, I don't know much about the history. I think we started it as a way to thank the neighborhood for hosting the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's a great way for the artist after they've set up to relax and get to know each other and get to know the community a little bit.
That makes a lot of sense.
We're super excited. We got great entertainment this year. We have Mike Struan from St. Joe, and we have Benton Harbor's own Sankofa.
Yeah.
And Sankofa played last year, and they were amazing and phenomenal. So we're excited to have them back. Last year we said, let's have them again because they did such a great job.
They were great. Yeah.
So we're really excited about that. Then we have 3 food trucks. And beer and wine and Pepsi products. So it's going to be a fun night.
I love it. So the block party, and that happens July 11th. That's that Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. 5 till whenever.
It's 5 to 9 because there is some noise ordinances
5
that we
to
have
whenever.
to abide by.
All right.
There is a $10 cover charge.
Okay.
I don't say it's like a $10 cover charge to come see the awesome entertainment.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I mean, I was there last year, and it's worth it. I mean, because you get to go and just you see everyone you know.
It's very
And
casual, very fun.
nice, relaxed atmosphere, and everyone's got a beverage, and you've got the food, and you've got the music, and you've got the friends. It's good.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's good. So the block party is starting on Friday, 5 to 9. We'll cut it off at 9.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Then we take the party elsewhere. Okay, and then Saturday and Sunday you've got the art fair. What are the parameters for the art fair? Who can walk through when?
Okay, and we are a suggested donation event.
Okay.
So there is no charge to get in.
Okay.
But it is a suggested donation.
Yep.
Any donation helps. It helps us to be able to put on the fair. It helps Krasl to be able to do all we do in the community.
Yeah.
So we appreciate those donations. But Saturday our hours are 10 to 6. Sunday we're 10 to 5. We have 172 artists from throughout the United States.
Wow.
All throughout the United States.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to having a great weekend of beautiful work out on the Bluff.
Okay. And if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you kind of some of the mechanics behind the scenes. How do you curate a show this big and that stuff? So hold that thought because we'll have to do it after the weather forecast. But we're talking with Jamie Balkin. She's the director of events at Krasl Art Center. And she's also a Coloma City Commissioner. So later on this hour, I'm going to pepper her with questions about what's going on in Coloma. So that'll be fun.
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. It's 7:16. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Mostly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers to start out today. That's going to lead us to a cooler day. We do see some sun this afternoon. Afternoon temperatures will be in the middle 70s. Tonight, partly cloudy. We clear out some down to 63 for the overnight low. And tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds. Slight chance of showers in the afternoon with a high in 82. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:17. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you on the radio, on the video live stream, on the WSJM Smart app, wherever you're consuming this product. We appreciate you and want to make sure that you get all the information you need. So if you have questions, additional questions, easy to do. Just go to the video live stream on Facebook or YouTube and put a comment in or a question, and we can respond. We're talking this morning with Jamie Balkin. She's the director of events at Krasl, and it's time for the 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff. We're excited about this.
I will look forward to it every year.
It's our annual event.
It is.
We love that.
It is probably one of the largest events in the community. We
Yeah.
have over 22,000 people come to downtown St. Joe to enjoy the event.
Woof. That's a lot.
It is.
22,000 people. And it starts off, as we were talking about on the video live stream a second ago, Friday, July 11 is the block party. And that's the pre-fair party for artists, guests, and the community. You're going to have live music there again.
That's correct.
And a $10 admission charge, cover charge. But for that, you get friends, and you get an opportunity to grab some food, grab some beverage if you want to, and listen to live music. So it'll be good.
It's awesome. It's always a fun night.
It is indeed. And then the art fair itself is Saturday and Sunday, July 12 and July 13. And you say you've got 172 artists coming in?
We do. We have 172 artists from throughout the United States. What people don't probably realize is our art fair, one, we're nationally ranked and have been nationally ranked for a number of years, but we are a juried show.
Okay.
So we pull together a jury every year that reviews all the applications we receive and choose which artists are coming for each year.
So so I have two questions. So one is on the national ranking. What does that mean? And then on the juried part. So let's start with the national ranking. Why is that significant?
It's significant because it draws artists to come to the show.
Okay.
The
Okay.
artists use that to base where they want
So
to
the
go.
artists take a look at all the art fairs that are happening across the United States, and they say, okay, this one's legit.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Okay. So we're nationally ranked that way. The juried part of it, why is that significant? What would it look like if it weren't juried?
If it weren't juried, it would be anybody and everybody could get in.
Right.
Potentially. But we get over 470 applications each year.
Okay.
And we have to whittle that down to 172. So believe it or not, even though there's art, there is math involved in this process.
Good. We like math. We like math. But I mean, part of it too, correct me if I'm wrong, is you take a look to make sure that the art is original, that it meets certain criteria.
There's quality standards that are in place throughout the show as well. We have a QA/QC director that checks everything all weekend long and looks for reproductions and potentially fake, all of the above.
Okay.
And we have so many great committees and volunteers. We have an artist committee that focuses on everything about the artist. We have what we call our @KAC committee that focuses on all of the local and what happens on Krasl's grounds that weekend. We have an operations committee, which operations takes care of all the operation part.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we have an experience committee that is in charge of guest experience, making sure guests that come to the fair have a great experience.
That's cool. How many people are on your experience committee?
That one's growing. But we have a leadership team of about 15 that meet at least 6 months out of the year to plan the event.
Okay, that makes sense. This is your 4th Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
So this will be your 4th, right?
It will be my 4th.
Okay, so thinking back to the 3 prior, how has the art show on Art Fair on the Bluff evolved over that period of time? And what are some of the funny stories you can tell us from that?
It's grown each year.
Yeah.
Because I started in I think it was 21 or 22, and COVID was still a factor.
Okay.
So the first year, I think our attendance was about 14,000. Then it was 19,000. And then the past 2 years, it's been 22 plus thousand.
Wow.
So COVID had an effect, obviously. And we've just grown it from there. And I look at it as I plan, and each year, what can I do new and different?
Yeah.
And what can I learn from the year before? As I mentioned earlier, we're bringing the shuttle back.
Oh, that's right.
And that's a huge thing for me, because from the time I started, I got that question. When are you going to have the shuttle back? When's the shuttle coming back? So just to bring it back this year is pretty amazing and fulfilling. That's the word I would use.
Spend a moment on that. So the shuttle coming back, why is that significant, and how will it operate?
So it will operate. It is free to take the shuttle in. Thanks to Southwest Michigan Tourist Council. They underwrote the shuttle for us this year.
Okay.
You'll park at the St. Joe High School parking lot, and the shuttle will run loops to downtown St. Joe and drop off at Broad and State Street.
Nice. Okay. So, I mean,
we ask for everybody's grace a little bit. We're bringing back something that hasn't happened in 10 years, 8 to 10 years. So we're planning and we're trying everything, but there might be some hiccups, but we're going to work our way through.
I know a lot of people will appreciate that, because going to where the parking is abundant, where you don't have to navigate the neighborhood and the parallel parking. I think some people are afraid of that.
That's true.
This way you can get in and out in an easy way. You plan it, you hit the shuttle, back and forth, you're done.
Yep. It's a great way.
Yeah. Do you know how many people the shuttle will carry?
It will carry 40.
Okay. All right. Will there be enough room for my artwork?
We can help with that.
Okay.
You can pick up your artwork at Krasl Art Center.
Oh, okay.
We do a large parcel pickup at Krasl Art Center.
Okay. So if I decide I want like a life-size statue, then I can park it at Krasl and come get it later.
Yep. And we have teams and volunteers that help move large parcel pickup.
That's really convenient.
It is.
Thank you for doing that. Jamie Balkin is here. She's the director of events at Krasl, and it's the 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff. It's coming up on Saturday, July 12th, Sunday, July 13th. Earlier this week, we were talking about Lake Breeze at sunset.
That Jerry and Brian are good friends, and I always coordinate and meet with them a couple times each year. So Saturday night, I'm sorry. My nights are blurring, but
Saturday night, July 12th.
Saturday night, after you enjoy the art fair, you could head down to Silver Beach and enjoy an amazing concert.
Yeah. You should take the whole art fair staff down there for it, and all the vendors.
I'm usually pretty tired at the end of the first day.
I can't imagine why. Oh no, that's great. All right, we're talking with Jamie Balkin, again, director of events at Krasl, and you're also a Coloma City Commissioner. So we'll talk a little bit about your role there as Coloma City Commissioner. But you skipped over the part talking about the challenging stories from the art fairs past.
Gosh.
Anything fun or memorable?
I do have a fun and memorable one.
Okay.
So last year we had a first in history art fair, and it kind of is relevant with the weather we've been having the past couple days. We actually evacuated the Bluff for the first time last year.
That was the first time you'd done that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Sunday morning we were getting ready to open, and a storm was coming in.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And it got really, really dark. And myself and Luke Binghamon, who's my safety lead, and one of the police officers from St. Joe, made the call to evacuate the Bluff.
Wow.
And we evacuated it, and we opened an hour late, and a storm really didn't happen, but it dissipated over Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
But I will say the artists were very grateful. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And when you have that number of people in one area and the weather looks iffy, it's better to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely. Well, it's very comforting to know that you have a plan in place if those kinds of things happen, and contingency plans. And as I remember, stuff got blown around.
Oh, there was a Saturday night, there was a storm leading into Sunday morning. So we had cleanup Sunday morning, and then the storm came in again Sunday morning. So it was totally the right call.
Yeah. What was going through your mind before you made that call when you were faced with the decision? Were you thinking, why me?
It was very unnerving.
I bet.
It was both Luke and I are looking at each other like, do we do this? Don't we do this? Do we do this? Don't we do it?
Yeah.
And we made the right call.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. Well, good. So if there's inclement weather that could be life-threatening or damaging to people and property, you'll make that call again.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good to know. And we're talking with Jamie Balkin, Director of Events at Krasl. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We've got to get some messages in. We'll have to get our financial news update from Bloomberg, our international and national news update from ABC. It's all coming up right here on WSJM. We'll continue the conversation on our video live stream.
Have you been thinking about...
That must have been, like you said, it must have been nerve-wracking.
It was so Luke is 22 years old.
Right.
And our normal guy, Andy Sawyer, everybody knows Andy, but Andy was on a plane, and he's calling Luke and I, and we're finally like, Andy, leave us alone.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And Andy's a National Weather Service spotter.
Oh, okay.
So,
so he's probably looking out there going, it looks pretty concerning.
Yeah. And so Luke and I just looked at each other, and we're like, let's do that, and it was the right call, but man, it was very unnerving.
Were people, so I mean, if you think about it from a safety aspect, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to be just fine. Were people agreeable with the call that was made?
Yes, they were. But what
they
made
cooperate?
They did.
Okay.
Some of them did and some didn't. But what made them do it was the police came down in their police truck and went on megaphones and said, evacuate now, where they're coming.
Yeah.
And that's when people finally listened.
Good.
And the support we got from the public safety department was unreal.
Yeah.
They're just amazing.
Yeah, that's great. What speaking of stuff downtown, we can't not mention parking. Is parking going to be an issue at all for the Krasl Art Fair?
I don't
on the
believe
Bluff?
so.
Okay.
I will say I don't believe so.
Okay.
We do not we reserved lots that we will use for VIP parking.
Okay.
And then we have the courthouse lot.
Yep.
Counties let us have that. So I don't believe so.
Okay. So everything will be covered. And for the time being, as far as like the paid parking that the city is doing, that's suspended.
Right.
So we'll have a guest in next week who'll give us more information on what the plan is for that, how long that suspension will be in place. So hopefully
we did have to move some of our booths because of the parking meters.
Did you?
Yeah. We had to redo our layout a little bit.
Oh no. Okay.
Which was, I mean, I have a great volunteer who knows the Bluff like the back of, she's been doing it for years and years. And her and I walked it a few times, and she reworked the map.
Are there kiosks like right in the Bluff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I've been on the downtown sidewalk streets, and I've seen the little R2D2 units.
It was so eerie when it was in place.
I know. It was very quiet.
It
Yeah.
was weird.
Yeah.
Strong message sent.
7:29. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We're here on the video live stream. We've got, like I say, our news from Bloomberg coming up in just a couple of moments. Our guest, Jamie Balkin, is the director of events at Krasl, also a Coloma City Commissioner. How long have you been a city commissioner for City of Coloma?
I'm in my second term.
Okay, and they're 4-year terms.
Yep, 4-year terms. So I'm in year 5.
Okay.
We were just reinstalled in November.
What in the world possessed you to be a city commissioner?
I don't. At the time, it was kind of for my job, and then that job has since changed. And I got in there, and I liked it more than I thought I would.
Okay.
It's really rewarding and fulfilling to be able to use skills that you have to give back to your community.
Yeah. And I mean, was there like an issue that you decided I really need to get involved with this?
No, Coloma is a great small community.
Yeah.
It's got a really quaint, nice downtown. And I think for me, I just wanted to learn and grow. And there were some opportunities there too. Like, how can we do something new and different in Coloma?
Yeah. No, good. And Peach Festival?
Peach Fest, there's a great group of volunteers. It's had some ebbs and flows, but we have a new president this year. Her name is Jen, and they're doing great runs to kind of bring it back. It's been kind of limping along a little bit, and there's a really renewed group of volunteers that are really putting an effort into getting ready for this year's event.
Can't wait. We're gonna invite them into the studio and have them tell us all about it. So that'll be exciting.
The most exciting thing going on in Coloma, and we can talk more about it, but the Norma Jean Summer Splash Pad opened just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it is so cool. Every time you drive by, it is full of people and kids laughing and families enjoying it. And it warms my heart.
That's great. And it's going to be bursting this weekend and well appreciated as well.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And that was that all private money?
Yes, it was. No taxpayer dollars were used for the project at all.
That's big.
It's huge.
Okay. We'll talk about that and more. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show, 7:32, and we'll be right back.
Eventually Mars.
Evan Jensen, VP of Strategic Research and Development at Texas-based Icon.
Essentially, you bring just the tools and none of the materials, and you can build what you need to live off the land.
On Earth, Icon uses special concrete and 3D printers to build. In the lunar plan, the autonomous robot could use regolith or moon dust and be
able to build things like landing pads, roads, protective structures, eventually habitats.
Icon space architect Melanie Ashar says the shape of space structures will be different from your typical home.
We conceived of a torus-shaped habitat that could house a crew of 4 astronauts.
And Yashar says this could all be only a couple of decades away. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:33, WSJM Morning Show continues. It's Thursday, June 19th, 64 degrees in Benton Harbor, where you can expect light rain to continue for the next hour. 64 degrees and windy over in St. Joseph. Looks like the rain may have tapered off there for the most part. South Haven, windy and 64. Dowagiac at 62 degrees. New Buffalo, 65. And at the South Bend International Airport, you can expect light rain for the next hour and 63 degrees. The forecast for today does call for partly cloudy skies, that 30% chance of showers lingering throughout the day, a high of 78 degrees, and winds out of the northwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a low of 63. Friday, partly cloudy, chance of rain, high around 85. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the highs are going to be at or above 90 degrees. The heat indices are expected to be higher. It's going to be hot and humid and mostly sunny both Sunday and Monday, and we'll probably have a lot of sunshine on Saturday too. So if you're loving the outside, you're loving the heat, the humidity, all that other stuff, you've got a good weekend ahead of you. It's 7:34. It's the WSJM Morning Show. More from Krasl Art Center, talking about Art Fair on the Bluff. It's coming up soon.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Apartment buildings near Tel Aviv destroyed. A hospital hit in southern Israel as Iran hit civilian targets this morning, wounding 40. Israel attacked an inactive Iranian nuclear reactor, still hoping for the U.S. bunker buster bomb to penetrate the main nuclear facility. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
In the White House Situation Room, sources say Trump was briefed on military operations for striking Iran, including a plan to destroy Iran's Fordo nuclear facility deep inside a mountain using a weapon only the U.S. has.
Iran is sending its foreign minister to meet with the European counterparts tomorrow in Geneva. In Israel's other war, the Gaza Health Ministry says 12 people have been killed this morning trying to reach aid distribution sites. Mud and rock slides have rendered I-40 impassable through the Great Smoky Mountains. Hurricane warning for Acapulco. Eric, now a Category 4. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:35, it's the WSJM Morning Show on your Thursday, June 19th. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We will continue our conversation in just a moment with Jamie Balkin, Director of Events at Krasl. Tigers fan, Cubs fan, White Sox fan?
Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I convince you to be a Tigers fan instead?
Sure.
Okay, Tigers. Well, we are the Major League Baseball radio station for the Detroit Tigers.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew that.
And we've got a doubleheader today. The Tigers are playing the Pirates. They got rained out yesterday. That means a doubleheader today. The first game is this afternoon at 1:10 p.m. The pregame show will be aired right here on WSJM at 12:45. The second game, first pitch, is set for 5:40 p.m. You don't have to be a Tigers fan, but we love the Tigers.
The Tigers are awesome.
Yeah, we love the Cubs as well. They host the Milwaukee Brewers at 2:20 this afternoon. Tomorrow, they're hosting the Seattle Mariners. And then the White Sox also have a doubleheader today. They host the first game against the Cardinals at 2:10 this afternoon. The second gets underway at 5:40. Yeah.
A lot of baseball going on.
Major League Baseball goes fast these days with that pitch clock. Yeah, it's going a lot faster than it used to. I don't know.
I like the minor leagues. South Bend Cubs is so fun.
Yeah. I hear that they put on a really good show down there.
They do.
And good food.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. More with Jamie Balkin for the Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff coming up in just a few moments. Right now, let's take a look at some of the news that we'll have from the WSJM newsroom at 8 o'clock this morning. Some of the stories that we're covering locally. The city of Benton Harbor is seeking to borrow money from the state for major improvements at their wastewater treatment plant. They're looking to borrow about $20 million in low-interest loans from the state's revolving fund. We'll talk a little bit about some of the reaction from a city commissioner on that and what Mayor Marcus Muhammad is saying. Other news, an open house for the public to learn about the latest on that effort to restart the Palisades nuclear power plant. That'll be held in Benton Harbor next week. We'll also talk about the protest that is drawing from Beyond Nuclear. That group is continuing to try to slow down progress at Palisades. They say there are some dangerous things that they see there, but we'll have both of those stories. That's coming up at 8 o'clock. And then lastly, Michigan State University Extension is planning their 36th annual Michigan Viticulture Field Day for next month in Benton Harbor. Viticulture, winemaking.
That's an area that's really grown in this community.
Well, with the grapes, they have to grow, right?
Exactly.
No, it's really growing and it's really important. And it's great that LMC has that program.
It's an amazing program.
It is. Okay. All right. 7:38. More coming up in just a few moments. We'll continue our conversation on the video live stream with Jamie Balkin from Krasl right now.
The Michigan News Network.
Okay. Yeah. Viticulture. I love it.
If you were to ask me one thing that's changed in this community, I would talk about the wineries and the breweries and the number of them that have grown over the years.
Yeah.
So tying that to the art fair in a roundabout way, we do have the livery is our beer for the block party.
Okay.
And then Domaine Berrien is our winery for the block party.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we always make sure we use local sources for that.
That's really smart on your part to tie in a key part of our agri industry around here. Because if you think about it, the grapes, have been here for a very long time. Then we also have the hops, seeing the hop farms. That's really cool.
Yes.
And the creative ways that the breweries and the wineries have been infusing that into it has just been amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's a great partnership.
So, and it's an art all on its own, form all its own.
For sure.
So, interesting exhibits in the 172. Any previews you can give us?
Oh boy. No,
Okay.
I haven't dug deep into the artists yet.
Okay. We'll have you back to talk about that.
Okay.
but also sponsors.
So a huge shout out, and I'm not going to name all of them because I was telling Ken I will forget somebody and then I would feel awful. But one that's very easy and a no-brainer to talk about is First Source Wealth Advisory Services. That is our presenting sponsor. We could not hold the art fair without their support, and they have been our presenting sponsor for four or 5 years now, and they're great partners. They support us throughout the year, but especially art fair weekend. So huge shout out to First Source Bank.
Yeah, so I'm looking at your presenting and premier sponsors. You want me to go through the list?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
I can do that. First Source Bank, as you just mentioned, LKF Marketing, Pepsi, MailMax, where you can always read the weekly Moody on the Market article, City of St. Joseph, southwestmichigan.org, and Signature Toyota.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah, presenting and premier sponsors.
And MailMax, when you were talking about the artist previews, MailMax prints our guidebook every year.
Oh.
And the guidebook will be in the July 5th MailMax article.
Okay.
So you can get a preview of the artist in your MailMax and get ready to come down and see which artist you want to see.
And that is going to be in the July 5th edition of
July
MailMax.
5th.
That's when the artist preview will be printed. Very good. Okay. What else do you need to talk about with regards to the art fair?
We need volunteers. We are a very small but mighty team at Krasl. I think there's like 12 of us now, but we can't do it alone. So it takes over between 200 and 300 volunteers to pull off art fair weekend.
You're kidding. That many volunteers.
It does,
Okay.
Throughout the whole weekend. So we are at the point where we really need volunteers. There are signups out there. We have a volunteer coordinator. Her name is Larissa Nunez. You can email her at volunteer@krasl.org or call Krasl's main line, and she would be happy to get you signed up with a position that is best for you.
Okay, so you call Krasl, or you can send them an email at volunteer@krasl.org.
That's correct.
Okay, what are the volunteer roles? What kind of jobs do you have them do?
Anything from greeting at the gates, to helping sell the merchandise, to operations help. We have a lot of tents to put up.
Okay.
We parking lot monitors, guest greeters, you name it. Water runners, making sure people are hydrated.
Yeah.
It was really hot last year. I'm getting a little nervous. It might be hot this year.
We'll see. Yeah.
But we have a variety of positions that we need help with.
Okay. So again, volunteer@krasl.org, or you can call Krasl directly and ask for Larissa.
Yep. And she'll get them signed up.
Okay. Very good. We're talking with Jamie Balkin, Director of Events at Krasl Art Fair. We'll talk a little bit more about that again during our Moody on the Market update. But let's shift gears, if we might, and talk a little bit about the city of Coloma. For those who aren't familiar with Coloma, describe it, please.
It is a small, quaint town, and we have amazing restaurants in our downtown, and we have the Loma Theater.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the Loma.
The Loma in Coloma.
Oh my gosh, the Loma in Coloma is one of our greatest and most fun assets.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of agritourism. We have several, and those are just on the outskirts of the city, but we have Fruit Acres and Jolly Orchards, and Jolly Orchards just opened a new donut shop right off the highway that's going great guns.
Yum.
But great downtown with lots of eating opportunities and the Loma. And then we have a great, amazing park, Randall Park, which has a play park where people can play. And now it has the Norma Jean Summers splash pad.
Talk a little bit about the splash pad. So that, as you mentioned, it just opened. How long has it been in the making, and how did it come about?
So when I joined the city commission, we did a couple meetings based on our master plan to plan what projects we could do, what's next. And we determined that a splash pad was an easy thing to do. It really wasn't easy, but it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
What could we offer for families and kids? And we had space in front of Randall Park where we could put it really easy. So we started efforts to raise money. We did a small fundraiser thanks to the Pink Hat ladies in Coloma. We did a little fashion show, and they kind of kickstarted our fundraising. And then the Summers family approached us, and they wanted to honor their mom who passed away suddenly. And she was a great community leader. And we named the splash pad after her.
Yeah.
And they helped us raise the funds to do it.
That's
and
great.
It's been funded by a lot of family and friends of Norma's. And then it's been funded by businesses and organizations in the community that believe in it. No taxpayer dollars were used for the project. We are still raising some funds to pay the water bill.
Yeah.
There is a water bill that comes with it, but it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
It's the splash pad is there, and then there's planters and benches around it that were donated by donors. And you press a button and it goes, and you hear the kids' laughter and scream, and
Yeah.
it's just awesome.
You're creating memories for those families and that community.
You know what's so cool is you'll see a lot of pictures of the kids with blue teeth and blue lips because it's just now getting warm, but they're happy even though they're freezing.
Be right back in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
That's going to lead us to a cooler day. We do see some sun this afternoon. Afternoon temperatures will be in the middle 70s. Tonight, partly cloudy, we clear out some down to 63 for the overnight low. And tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds, slight chance of showers in the afternoon with a high in 82. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And my guest this hour is Jamie Balkin. She's the director of events at Krasl, but also a Coloma City Commissioner. And we've been talking just a little bit on the video live stream about the Norma Jean Summer Splash Pad.
Yeah.
And it's now open.
Yep.
And as we mentioned on the video live stream, you're creating memories with that. It was part of the master plan of what do we need to put in our community? What are one of the things that we could do to attract families and keep the families that are here engaged and entertained and having fun in our community? And the splash pad came up.
It did, and it's a great addition to our community. It just opened on May 29th, which ironically was Norma Summer's birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
Who the splash pad is named for.
Yeah.
So we had a grand opening celebration. There was probably about 150 people in attendance to celebrate this historic day for our community. So if you've ever been to Randall Park in Coloma, the splash pad's at the front of Randall Park. The hours are 10 to 8 every day. And it's just awesome. It's just, I can't even put it in words how it's a beautiful, colorful splash pad. And then it's surrounded with planters and benches. We've actually added picnic tables because so many families are going and enjoying it.
Wow.
And we saw them bring in blankets and sitting and having a true picnic. And we said, let's put a couple picnic tables out there. And it's been a great success. The coolest thing about the splash pad is it was no taxpayer dollars were used for the project. It's all been funded through family and friends of Norma, businesses and organizations in the community that believe in it, and just donors to make it a reality.
That's really cool.
You probably will hear from us. We're going to do a little more fundraising just to cover expenses.
Yeah, water bills and such.
Yeah, you got to
Okay.
pay the water bill.
Got to pay the water bills. All right. Well, but it's a Coloma splash pad. And I mean, do you do like food trucks or anything around that?
We have not yet.
Oh,
That's
how
some
do you
of-
how does the city of Coloma feel about food trucks?
we don't know yet.
Okay. I think they're good. Let's eat there.
We gotta put some probably regulations in place.
Oh yeah. All right.
You know, unfortunately.
No, that makes sense. I mean, because the rules are made for the people who keep testing the limits, right?
Exactly.
So, all right, let's make this part of our Moody on the Market update. The Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We're talking with Jamie Balkin. She's the director of events at Krasl. And also, as we just talked about, a city commissioner for the city of Coloma. But the Krasl Art Fair, it's the 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff. And it starts with a block party on Friday, July 11th, and then goes into the art fair on Saturday and Sunday, the 12th and 13th of July. And just give people an overview. If they're just landing in town for their summer vacation, and this is the first time they're hearing about the Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff in July, tell people what it is, would you?
So the Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff is a long tradition in this community. Started as a clothesline art fair 63 years ago by some leaders in the community, and has grown to what it is today with 172 artists on Lake Bluff Park. Saturday and Sunday of that week. Saturday, the hours are 10 to 6, Sunday, 10 to 5. It's a great way to see a variety of art, very talented artists and mediums.
Yeah.
We'll have food trucks available over on Elm Street. And then there'll be food trucks also available on Krasl Art Center's grounds. On Krasl Art Center grounds that weekend, there will be free activities for families. Also, there's emerging artists from the local community. Water Street Glassworks sets up a tent. That's always so neat to partner with them and have them there.
We have a very specific routine when we go through the art fair. And our routine is we start at one end, and it's usually the south end. We go all the way up one side. We're not allowed to look on the other side. We look up one side of the booths. We walk all the way to the north end, make it all the way to the end.
And then
by the ladies by the fountain. Then we come down and look on the other side, the lake side. That's and then after that's done, then we go over where Water Street Glassworks in and all the local artists and see what they're doing. That's our routine.
You got to have one.
Yeah.
You got to have a routine.
It's structure and routine because there's so much to see.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You can walk it and see things different every time you do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites of the kinds of arts that you like to see?
You know what's funny is I end up so busy over the weekend that I don't really get to embrace the arts. That is one of the goals for this year.
Okay.
It's my 4th art fair. They're like, some of the artists haven't met you yet. So you need to book time to go around and meet the artists. That's one of my goals for this art fair.
Okay. All right. We're going to hold you to that.
I'm going to need to be held to it.
All right. All right. That's our Moody on the Market update for this hour. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. How much is it to get into the art fair?
It is free.
Absolutely free, but you do strongly encourage donations.
We are grateful for every donation we receive.
What do those donations go to do?
It helps us be able to do all the activities Krasl does, public art displays, free access to the art, the sculptures.
Yeah.
So many things that we offer throughout the community.
Yeah, we appreciate the culture that it brings. And we'll talk a little bit more with Jamie Balkin about the art fair and anything else that she wants to talk about. It's coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We'll wrap up the interview in a few minutes on WSJM.
Insurance Management Service, your local auto owner's insurance agent.
Well, you got me hopping this morning.
Hey, you know, we're still on the video live stream, just FYI. So what else do we need to hit this morning?
Gosh, we've talked about a lot.
We've talked. What's happening at Krasl right now?
Right now we have an awesome exhibition called Generation to Generation.
Okay.
And it's about AI converted artwork. So,
AI.
Yeah, it's AI driven art exhibition.
Okay.
Nathaniel Stern and Sasha Stiles, who have displayed at Krasl before,
okay,
will have this exhibition in there. It's really neat. It's modern.
Okay.
And it talks about how AI interacts with art.
Have you played around with AI at all?
I have not.
Really?
No.
At all?
No.
Are you? Tell me why.
Too many things.
Yeah.
Too many
reasons why you don't want to, or too many things going on you haven't made time for it.
Too many things I haven't made time for.
Okay. All right. AI is fascinating, and I mean it's chilling on one hand, and it's fascinating on the other end, and incredibly helpful for mundane tasks. It makes them like super easy. I just love that because there are things, at least there are things in my daily routine that it's like, okay, I know that I take this widget over here, I put it over here, then I have to put it over here, then I have to put it over here because there's just not anything that can do it for me. In some cases now, AI can do it for me.
That's right.
And then I can focus. So the mundane task is now simplified and I can move it out of the way quicker, like in a fraction of the time, honestly. And then I can spend the majority of my time on the things that I really love doing, which is like thinking deep and getting creative and doing that kind of stuff. So for me,
it's going to change our world.
Yeah.
And especially this is, just the scratching of the surface of how it's impacting the art world.
Yeah. And one of the things, when we talk about artificial intelligence and broadcasting, our commitment, our mandate, our core principle here is AI will assist us. It will not be us. And there will always be a human to look at it and listen to it before it goes anywhere.
That's a good.
Has to.
Awesome.
We just have to.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because, honestly, it boils down to garbage in, garbage out. So you don't know what we're going to get. So somebody better look at it and be responsible for it. Because we can't just blame the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. But AI and the art world, that's a little controversial.
It is, and so this was a good start. It's this is the first gallery to host this exhibition, and then it'll travel from ours. So we're pleased to have that in the galleries right now.
Avant-garde, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some of the early critics would say, "Oh well, there's no soul to the art if a computer has done it," and others would say, "Well, somebody had to conceive of what it wanted the tool to do for it," and so we're going to come see that.
It's neat.
I look forward to it.
Neat. Our caliber of exhibitions is always very high.
Very good, very good. All right, how do you decompress after an art fair?
Usually, there's 2 days the week after that. I don't work. I'll probably just be at home and just sleep a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because it takes a lot to put into it. You've got a staff of 12, you said, and then
roughly
200 volunteers to wrangle during that period of time.
Yep.
And again, great appreciation goes out to the volunteers. Those that we've interacted with in years past have just been wonderful. So it's always nice to see friendly faces.
You know what I want to give a shout out is to the families that support us. My family supports me so much. My husband volunteers, my daughter volunteers. My daughter's one of our leads usually.
Yeah.
But it's not just my family that does it. All of the staff's family comes out and supports. Nathan Margoni, our director of education, his entire family comes and helps. His nieces and nephews are there working all weekend, and we couldn't do it without that family support.
That's important. No, very good. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, we will be back in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show again. The 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff starts with the block party on Friday, July 11th. That goes from 5 to 9 p.m. or later. No, not later. 9 p.m. is when it ends because of noise and stuff like that. Art Fair itself goes Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 10 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. Are there any early previews for anybody?
The Mailmax guidebook will be out July 5th.
Okay, that's right.
And just a reminder, and we're so excited, the shuttle is back.
1 second, we'll talk about the shuttle in a moment here on WSJM.
Product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Look at that. Another hour gone by.
That was a quick hour.
That's a quick hour. Yeah, WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning is Jamie Balkin from Krasl Art Center. And we've been talking about a lot of things this morning, including the Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff, the 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff. And the big announcement that you made yesterday is...
the shuttle is back.
The shuttle is back. So parking at St. Joseph High School will be available. And during the art fair on that Saturday and Sunday, July 12th and 13th, it'll be making loops.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thanks to the underwriting of Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, we can't thank them enough. We'll be running a 40-passenger bus to and from the parking lot to downtown.
Okay, excellent. Just another good reason to visit the art fair. It's super easy, and parking's going to be a breeze. So again, the block party is Friday, July 11th, 5 to 9. The art fair, Saturday and Sunday, July 12th and 13th. No admission, but donations are strongly encouraged.
And very appreciated.
And how many artists, professional artists from across?
172 artists.
Wow. 172 professional artists from across the United States, set against the beautiful backdrop of Lake Michigan and the charming hospitality of Southwest Michigan.
That's it.
I got that from your website.
It's so true, though.
It is true. It is true. It's very cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Anything else we need to mention this morning?
Just a huge shout out and thank you to the community for helping us make this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. 63rd Krasl Art Fair on the Bluff. It's coming up. And if you need more information about that, just check out the Krasl website, and that's at krasl.org. And then you have the art fair information stuff. Okay. Jamie, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you. We will talk more about the art fair in the coming days and weeks. And right now we're talking about the weather. It looks like partly cloudy skies out there. The showers seem to have tapered off for just the moment, but we could have some more showers throughout the day. A high is going to be around 78 degrees. Winds out of the northwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, we're looking at partly cloudy, low of 63. And then tomorrow, Friday, it's going to get up to right around 80, 85 degrees, depending on where you are in Southwest Michigan. By the lakeshore, a little bit cooler. Only 20% chance of showers tomorrow and partly cloudy skies. Tigers, baseball fans, Tigers have a doubleheader today. The Tigers and the Pirates were rained out yesterday. That means a doubleheader today. The first game is this afternoon at 1:10 p.m. You can hear it right here on WSJM. We'll start the pregame at 12:45, and then the first pitch is at 1:10. The second game starts at 5:40. Cubs will host the Milwaukee Brewers. That comes up at 2:20 this afternoon. And White Sox have a doubleheader today. They start at 2:10. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Today's missile barrage from Iran damaging the main hospital